This is the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
You're inside Jamaica Magazine.
Encouraging the information flow, sharing the news and views you need to know.
We are building an informed Jamaica every day.
Listening to what you say.
It is Wednesday, December 16. Thank you so much for opening the covers of today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Alison Watson. Coming up, cheaper chicken prices for Christmas. The Transport Ministry launches its vehicle weight enforcement program. And Jazz and Blues has a new home come January. And it's the importance of being a good parent on this week's edition of Urban Scope. Do stay with us. The news in detail after this break.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go!
Radio.
We'll have Caricom of Bills and House Matters in our features package.
And now the news, I'm Kevin Clark.
Research and publications. Television.
It's Wednesday, October 28th.
We've got a hot Jamaica Magazine.
Welcome to another edition of
Editorial and photography. Public relations.
It is set to be the driving force of the agency.
All this and more in one place. 4 divisions, 15 departments.
The largest organization of its kind in Jamaica and I dare say in the English-speaking Caribbean.
One strategic objective.
Truth. Well told.
It's the Jamaica Information Service.
The voice of Jamaica. And now the news. Consumers are eagerly awaiting Friday, December 18 to start benefiting from a reduction in the price of chicken meat. The reduction will be on a total of 250,000 kilograms of meat. This follows a decision by the Agriculture and Commerce Ministries. They have agreed to local chicken producers' request that they be allowed to fully meet the demands during the Christmas period. Andrew Chisholm has more.
There will be a reduction in the price of chicken meat, particularly leg and breast quarters.
Welcoming news for consumers as they begin preparations for their respective Christmas meals. The discount will be in effect from December 18 to 24. A reduction of between 19 and 22% is expected. That means consumers will pay between $46 and $52 less for each kilogram of chicken meat.
It's intended to provide some benefits to the most vulnerable consumers the week leading into Christmas for the Christmas period. All the existing arrangements that are out there between the broiler companies and their other customers remains the same.
But what about those who decided not to lower the cost?
If we find that it hasn't been passed on to the consumers, then we will be sure to highlight it in our consumer alert reports.
For GIS News, I'm Andrea Chisholm.
The Transport Ministry launched its vehicle weight enforcement program yesterday. It is part of efforts to ensure that drivers comply with the law stipulating the load weight for vehicles. Minister Mike Henry says it is long overdue.
It is not the matter of enforcement insofar as it is to ensure that what we're protecting is the money of the taxpayers.
It is illegal to exceed the weight limit identified for trucks, tractors and trailers. But Director of the Island Traffic Authority, Paul Clementson, says too many operators are ignoring the law. According to studies done by the National Works Agency, the NWA, there have been operators that exceed the legal load limit by over 200%. Mr. Clementson says the practice has resulted in huge costs to the nation.
The nation has spent billions of dollars to construct, repair or resurface roads that were not allowed to last the projected life of 15 years, but were destroyed within 2 to 3 years of their construction. Several persons have lost their loved ones and have lost their motor vehicles, arising from aggregate spills on our roadways, creating death traps.
The enforcement program will involve the use of permanent roadside scales or stations which will be operated on schedule as well as randomly. Portable weigh scales will be randomly mounted on roadside weigh bays. Meanwhile, sub-pavement weigh-in-motion devices will be set up to monitor and screen trucks. These will be equipped with cameras and relevant IT equipment. Some 800 housing lots are to be developed in the Whitehall Phase 2 housing scheme in Negril, Westmoreland. That announcement comes from the Minister of Water and Housing, Dr. Horace Chang. He says the project will cost about $300 million and will be for low-income earners. The minister says steps have to be taken urgently to arrest the growing informal developments in order to preserve Negril as a prime tourist area. The initial move will be to ensure that Whitehall Phase 2 is completed and Phase 3 begins. In the process, lands will have to be identified for workers who cannot afford the high price of other developments. Government is taking a multi-agency, multi-pronged approach to control the broadcast of explicitly sexual and violent music. That was outlined in a statement yesterday from the Minister with responsibility for information, Darrell Vaz. He says this approach will continue until success is achieved. The Minister has commended the efforts already being undertaken by the police and the Ministry of Transport, but he says more needs to be done. He says despite directives issued by the Broadcast Commission earlier this year, boundaries are still being breached. According to the Minister, there were weaknesses in the management controls over output, and some on-air persons lack a basic understanding of the critical role that media plays in development. He says regulatory intervention is necessary, as extensive research reveals that songs with violent lyrics increase aggression without provocation. Minister Vaz is calling for cooperation and national support. And finally, in the news today, the Trelawney Multipurpose Stadium is the new venue for the annual Jamaica Jazz and Blues Festival. The festival was previously staged in Montego Bay, but Culture Minister Olivia Grange says the Trelawney Stadium will be a bigger and better location.
The Trelawney Stadium is a fantastic facility for hosting this kind of event. It has, it sits on 120 acres. And so there will be space, there will be room for you to just relax and enjoy yourself. And then there are the skyboxes. And in addition to that, there will be adequate parking, which is so important.
Last night, a plaque was unveiled showing how the Trelawney Stadium will be designed to retain the festival's ambiance. Jazz and blues draws some 40,000 persons annually. Minister of Tourism Edmund Bartlett says the organizers are hoping to earn $3 million from the January 2010 festival.
Last year alone, we were able to see more than 26,000 people coming together over the 3 nighs at the venue in Montego Bay. We filled all the hotel rooms in Montego Bay, and the festival brought $2.7 million to the economy of Jamaica.
The Jamaica Jazz and Blues Festival is sponsored by the Jamaica Tourist Board and Air Jamaica. For ticket details and nightly show lineup, please visit the festival's website at www.jamaicajazzandblues.com. And those were the stories making the news today. For more information, please visit our website at www.jis.gov.jm. Stay with us. Jamaica Magazine continues.